Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm talking about conviction and building conviction. Conviction is one of the two main essential building blocks of success. If you aren't convinced that the shot is going to be a success, you're going to be right. It won't be. And getting that conviction is built on, first of all, having the competence to carry out the shot, the trust in that competence, and obviously then the confidence that comes with that knowledge that you can do what it is you want to do. And only then will you get conviction. Conviction is like the non plus ultra of confidence. I know this is going to be a success. Of course, on the other psychological side of things, we have composure, the serenity to know it can't always be a success. However, at the same time, you've got to build this conviction it will be a success. So it's almost like a balancing act. I know I can't hit every golf ball next to the flag, but I'm going to go to every golf ball with the conviction that it is going to be a success. And by doing that, I'm going to get the tightest dispersion possible on my shots. To do this, you've got to get far more order in your practice. Get far more objective about your practice. What I'm talking about that is when you are practicing a putt, you have to know a lot about the putt you're practicing. How long is it? Is it with grain, against grain, uphill, downhill, fast green, slow green? This is the kind of information you need. When you're practicing a pitch like the one I have before me, you've got to know how far away are you? What are the weather conditions? What are the lie conditions? Taking all of these things into account makes you more competent and gives you then more conviction. Because when you get into a similar situation on the round, it's not about thinking, well, how am I going to play this? It's about remembering how you've played it in the past and being convinced that you can do it again. The basics is all about getting competence. Competence in the technique and competence in your ability to carry out the technique. And the only way that you can get that is by practicing it. And in this situation, you can see I've got the purple flag there, which is 60 yards away from where I'm lying. I have a good lie. There's a slight left to right wind. And at the moment, I'm going to take a lob wedge with 58 degrees and see how I get on with that. I'm hitting a simple pitch shot into the shot, and I know more or less how I want to play it. I can visualize it in my mind. When I get up to the golf ball and play the shot, I want to get not only a picture of the shot I've just hit, but I also want to get some kind of evidence of how far away that shot is from the flag. Now, for a short shot like this, I can see. I'm around about 3 yards away, and I would say I'm pretty happy with that. It's very important, even if you're 5 yards away, 10 yards away, a yard away, or even a couple of feet, to get some objective evidence of your competence. Because it's only with objective evidence that you're ever going to trust the ability. Trust is the next level. We're going to start getting a competence in any given task. And then we're going to build trust in this competence. And the trust comes simply from repetitively succeeding at the task that's given to you. I would definitely advise that you don't talk to a camera when you're doing the exercises, and that you really do try and concentrate and get the best result. Go into the shot completely convinced that you're going to hit a good shot, and then just hit it. But again, try and get that vision of, or that result back. How far away are you? That ball landed more or less on the flag, but has run out, and I've probably got a good 5-6 yards away from it. Is that good? Is that bad? It depends on your ability. But it's very important to know the boundaries of your ability so that you don't put yourself under pressure in a shot. It has got to be okay for me to hit a 60-yard shot 5 or 6 yards away because I'm doing it here. So I'm gonna do it now and again on the golf course. Obviously, I'd rather be half the distance, even less. But it's all about getting objectivity into your game so that you can then be convinced about the outcome within a range. When you are finally trusting yourself to make the shot, the next thing is all about confidence. It's talking yourself up. I can do this, I'm good at this shot. A little bit far again, maybe even 8 or 9 yards away, but again, I'm not upset with that. I went into the shot feeling good and I came out of the shot still feeling good. Golf is difficult. It's not always going to be the perfect shot. Because I am hitting these shots, I know what to expect. And I am consciously making a note of these situations and of these successes and, in inverted commas, failures, so that I don't surprise myself out there on the golf course. Only when I am confident of my ability can I be convinced of my success. And this confidence is really going to be based on objectivity in my practice. That means I am doing most of the work on the that I need on the golf course on the driving range. I am building the success that I want on the golf course on the driving range. By the time I get to the 60-yard pitch on the golf course, I've hit that hundreds, if not thousands of times on the driving range. And because I've hit that shot so often, when I'm under pressure on the golf course, I can still have the conviction that this is going to be the shot that wins me the tournament. It's this conviction that you need on the golf course. Without it, you're lost. If you stand over the golf ball with any kind of doubt, any kind of worry, worse still, the vision of something going wrong, then you're going to be right every time. And that's what you've got to try and avoid. Don't take on a shot where you have no conviction. But if you see there's a shot you're needing a lot when you're on the golf course, then practice that shot until you're convinced that you can actually do it. Start, if necessary, with learning the technique of that shot and then learn to master it. And once you have mastered it, build yourself scenarios on the driving range where you can actually get objective feedback about what you're doing, whether that's using a TrackMan, a flight scope, a GC quad, it doesn't matter. Whether you have somebody out there measuring how far away the ball is from the target or whether you're doing it yourself, you desperately need to get feedback that is objective. Too many of you are out there hitting shots and then basing your success on 1 or 2 of the balls in the bucket. And then you're going out onto the range or onto the golf course and expecting far too much from yourself. Whereas there's always in the back of your mind the inkling, yeah, but probably won't go right. You've got to get rid of all kinds of thoughts which are negative and get into this relaxed, composed situation where you are convinced of your success by every single shot you hit on the golf course. It's as simple as that. It's the best one I hit so far. Hope you liked it. If you did, smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so far. I also have a Patreon site, and a big thank you as ever to all of the patrons who are supporting the channel on a regular basis. If you'd like to, there'll be a link below to my Patreon site as well. Look forward to seeing you next time. Until then, goodbye.